Kindred. How are we this evening? What's happened in the last little while?
Oh, a lot.
Your city
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
is now without the Camarilla. There is no governing body in this city anymore. And no one has been sent to fill that vacancy officially. Which has left a bit of a power vacuum. The creatures of the night are in disarray and kind of chaotic. Before I start narrating officially our opening for tonight, it has been 3 days since you guys watched the light burst from behind the door. Jimmy. How are you? Jimmy is going to be making an appearance in a moment, but he's been out having some fun over the last couple of nights, with it being the season and all. Jimmy, you can take a point of hunger off your hunger track. As for what's been going on in the city, over the last 3 days, there's been a blood bag shortage in the city. Not just the city, the province. No one knows how or why it's happened, but there seems to be something wrong with roughly 75% of the blood bag's supply. Those who drink from them gain no nutrition whatsoever. This has led to the supply being drastically having dwindled drastically to the point where you can't get them anymore in most establishments, and the Kindred, the vampires in the city that can afford them, have started to hoard them, which has taken the supply of nourishable blood bags down by another 15%. This means roughly 90% of your blood bag supply is no longer usable. If you are drinking from a blood bag, you will need to roll for it. There is a 1 in 10 chance that you will get something usable. For those of you that are baggers, you're going to have to spend your blood wisely. We're going to... Storytellers, I'm going to change things up a little bit tonight. I need to change up a name tag. Because we have one more thing for you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Isabella. How are you this evening?
Well, I might be dead. So
Can you describe your room for us?
So Isabella's room is in the penthouse of the hospital. It has a rather large bed in it because she kicks in her sleep. And the walls were painted like this psychedelic colors that were very reminiscent of the 70s and 80s. That's hard to see now, though, because 3 of the 4 walls are covered in writings and yarn and pins to show this spider web of things that Isabella was trying to force herself to remember about, whether it was people, places, things, events. There's a dresser that has her very few clothes that she has, which is currently like 2 pairs of jeans, underwear, 3 shirts, and maybe 4 socks. And her combat boots are either still on her feet
You made a decision at the end of last episode. How do you think that went for you? Pardon?
she knew it had to be done, even though she was told there was a chance it wouldn't take. She knew it had to be done, even though she knew there was a chance it would.
It has been... Well, you don't know how much time has passed, my dear. Time has no meaning for you. It's been... Sometimes it's been black. Other times, what passes for dreams have been laced with blood, violence, and anger. It has been never-ending and seems to go on forever in what seems like your own personal hell. And then, as if a veil is lifting, your awareness of the room around you starts to slowly break through that deep, dark pit of blackness. First it's your hearing, and your sense of smell. Your mouth feels really dry. Your eyes are sluggish to open, but when they do, the room seems almost just a little too bright. You can hear some skittering through the walls. You can smell the old scent of bacon from the kitchen downstairs, still wafting sort of through the apartments of this place. And as your tongue grazes across your teeth, you feel 2 distinct sharp points. The back of your throat is dry. And as you're taking stock of everything in your body, as you pull yourself out of your slumber, my dear, 2 very distinct realizations are made. 1, any breath you take feels like it's forced. And 2, You can no longer feel the heat of your body, the blood pumping through your veins. As you focus in on that, your heart is not beating. Ricky is sitting on the end of your bed.
Isabella slowly props herself up using her elbows.
Ricky looks over at you. He says nothing.
You good?
Are you? How are you feeling?
It feels different. Not bad different, but...
Those first few moments always feel different when you're so used to being human.
That's probably it then. It's just...
From here on out, there are a few things. The first, you are going to have to keep very tight control of your emotional state, or things will get out of hand very quickly.
Okay.
Second, when your first hunger kicks in, there is going to be very little time to act. You are going to need to let someone know, or things will get out of hand quicker than you expect.
Okay.
Third, whether you want to or not, there will come a time when you are going to kill someone, whether you mean to or not. That is a fact of who we are. You either accept it and move on, or you sit in tortured eternity and waste away.
I take it this is more than just when I killed the kindred that went after us.
You will kill humans. This is what you are now. This is your reality.
She's quiet for a few moments before she nods her head.
A vampire's territory is their own. Manners should be observed. As the Camarilla no longer has hold on this city, the rules as are of yet undefined.
Wait, what happened?
Somebody dropped sunlight bomb into middle of Elysium. Dusted them all.
How long was I out?
3 days. Therefore, any rules that need to be taught under their rule are going to be held off on for the moment until it is apparent they are necessary. There are more important things to teach. Lastly, I believe your friends are at the bite this evening. Do you feel...
Why are they at the bite?
Something about a lake, if I'm not mistaken.
Kieran's wake.
Aye. Sorry, what was that? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. One moment, folks. I'm really starting to dislike the way Discord's been acting while we're on the storytelling stage. We may have to find alternatives.
Can you hear me?
Sort of. Your mic's cutting in and out, but I can hear you. Are you able to turn your camera on?
One second, let me try something.
I have your camera. One moment.
And your voice came through perfectly that time.
Okay. Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, Discord's choppy, but I can make out what you're saying for the moment.
Isabella looks at Ricky as, I'd like to go.
Do you feel up to it?
I feel fine. If anything, I actually, besides for the no heartbeat, not needing to breathe, and lack of human warmth, I don't feel that different.
Let me know the moment that changes. I'll get a car and we'll head off. Grab your clothes.
You will be the first to know.
And we're going to fade to black for a moment. For the rest of you... Yeah, 1 second while I slip out of Ricky's voice here. For the rest of you, we're going to shift to the bite. On the outside, the bar appears closed to most people. But Unlike the times before, when the door was barred, and there was a sign dedicated to stating this fact. Instead, the neon lights this time have been darkened. And the moniker, the name of the bite outside the club, has been draped with a black cloth. Stepping into the bar, you notice a heavy hush cloaking the room, like a heavy blanket. People are talking in low tones, most attired in muted colors, blacks being preferred, as with most Kindred. Maki seems to be making the rounds, talking to people, interacting with groups, with the familiarity of one used to the role of just being a host for the night. On one table sits a pair of framed photos, one of Anna, candidly taken, the camera hanging from her neck with a strap, smiling and holding the camera in one hand, caught forever in the midst of what appears to be about to take a picture. The other is somewhat blurry on the edges, but the center is Kieran's face. The smile is slightly off guard, as if he's unused to having pictures taken of him, and this was done to appease the desires of his true love in sitting for this. The photo was a miracle in and of itself, found on a roll of film stashed in one of Anna's forgotten camera bags. An experiment that bore fruit in being able to capture the image of a Lo Sombra when other methods had failed. You know, she always did like to tinker with her cameras. Also decorating the table is a black cloth, a section of electric tea lights. Some flowers scattered the surface. It's clear this is why people are here. This is a shrine to influences now gone from the world and joined together on the other side of this reality. The Coterie may notice a few familiar faces in residence. Serafina, Maki's business partner, breezing through the guests with ease that has been long practiced, and a few other regulars of the bar that you may not know by name, but by face. Maki appears to be wearing a very low-cut, form-fitting, elaborate dress with lace sleeves. One moment.
It's in the sidebar for anyone that wants to see it.
I have a couple of other descriptions to get through that did not pop up as they were supposed to tonight, which blows chunks. One of the further tables is occupied. A woman looking to be in her early 40s with dark, curly brown hair. She's sitting at a table. She's holding a mug in her hand, olive skin gleaming in the lights of the bar. Even while seated, she gives the impression of looking down her nose and gazing upon you somehow. And gazing upon her, you somehow start thinking of her seated in a leather chair presiding over a court of her family. Seems to be a queen without a crown. In the opposite, at one of the other tables, sits a man, pale skin but raking scars marring his right temple, and even crossing over his eye. Lines mark the corner of his eyes, indicating a man more inclined to smile than to frown. Dark brown hair, short but not too short, and a well-trimmed beard. His fingers wrap around a glass, red liquid glinting in the light of the bar, but also off the bluest eyes you have ever seen as he peers around him through gold wire-framed glasses. He seems one of those folks that are drawn to, and you feel like he wouldn't look out of place, perched on a wall and strumming an acoustic guitar. But the light of him seems tempered somewhat, like someone draped dark cloth over him, as well as the sign outside. Make sure I haven't missed everything. I haven't missed anything here. Jimmy. The night has been mostly fortuitous for you as you make your way to the bar. Walk in through the door and pull off your mask. Your adventures tonight are yours to divulge during conversation if you wish. We open the floor now to our players. and the ensuing conversations of catching up, events that have passed, and of remembering a dearly departed friend.
Jimmy will go over to Maki.
Oh, hold on. Hang on a sec. There was actually a description that I forgot. Where is it?
I also posted a description of the bite in the sidebar for anybody, for everybody who hasn't seen it.
Here we go. I got it. Myriad spent so much time on this. I don't want to leave this out. Also, Myriad, come on up to the stage. To one side, close to the bar itself, is a long table draped in black tablecloth with a red runner down the length of it. You see a selection of, for lack of better words, Italian-inspired foodstuffs, cured deli meat, cheeses, prosciutto, mozzarella, pancetta, etc. Also spaghetti, lasagna, and desserts in the form of cannoli and tiramisu. You get the sense that Serafina's hand is at work here, so if you choose, you should be able to partake without any negative consequences. It does look like the bar is open, serving coffee and wine for those that wish to partake in that as well. On one table sits a pair of... I've already got that. Okay. Sorry. Now we'll open the floor.
I would just like to also add in, there is a table that has not really a coffin, but it looks like if Kieran's body was there, as in a traditional Italian wedding, or not wedding, a funeral. There are roses that can be placed there for the deceased. They're like set up to where each person is supposed to take it. Instead of the coffin, though, there's like pictures of Kieran and stuff, and that's like the table where you're supposed to set the roses. They're white roses specifically. And Maki's making the rounds with like Sweets and Jimmy, and she goes over to talk to the woman at the table holding the mug, greets her warmly, and just says, "I'm so glad you could make it."
I wish it had been under better circumstances.
I think we all wish it was under better circumstances, but it is what it is. I can't stay long, but... And she reaches and takes her hand and goes, "It's really good to see you, Mom."
You too. I'll be in town for a couple of days if you want.
You are more than welcome to stay here if you like. I have extra rooms upstairs. But yes, of course, we should definitely meet again. I just have to go make nice, especially since Anna Sire is here. So I need to go say hi.
Understood. You go take care of what you need to do.
And she squeezes her hand and then lets go and proceeds to go over to the other table with the man in the gold glasses and has a little bit more of a formal greeting for him and is like, "Thank you so much for coming. I had hoped you had received my correspondence."
I did. He just kind of looks at you for a long moment, doesn't really say anything else.
"I hope that you got all of Anna's effects in one piece. I made sure to pack them very carefully."
As much as I could. Thank you. I appreciate having those returned.
Of course. Anything at all. Anna was family.
Indeed.
And this is as much her wake as Kieran's.
Well, here's to hoping it... You know what? I'm not gonna say it. No point in jinxing the night, I suppose.
Let's leave it as... And she doesn't really say anything, and she kind of goes, "It was great seeing you. If you ever need anything, please let me know while you're staying here."
Will do.
and she starts going around to find the rest of the coterie members and other people to start saying hi and letting them know like where to go. So who does she see first?
I'm gonna get you all to roll me a d10. Highest number takes it.
You mean outside of Sweets and
Outside
Jimmy?
of Sweets and Jimmy, because you're guard dogging me.
Power trio.
We have a 5 for Mars. We have a 9 for Dorme. We have an 8 for Maeve. We have a 2 for Danica. We have a 1 for Elizabeth. I believe that would be Dorme.
Dorme. Okay, so Maki walks up to you. You see she's wearing that the dress that's in the picture with that. Her hair's done up in a very like formal kind of bun. She looks very put together. Which normally you see she kind of goes extravagant with like the makeup and stuff, but it's all very kind of just neutral for this. And she walks up to you, Dorme, and she goes, "Thank you for coming."
Of course. I mean, he and I may not have known each other very well, but I figured for you, I'd at least stop by and show my face.
It's appreciated. There's food. It's all edible. Some of Karen's favorite dishes. I personally helped make them. So please feel free to eat your fill. There's drinks. Those are also safe for us to drink. And at the end of the night, everyone will be taking a white rose and placing it on the table for Karen and Anna.
Well, thank you very much. She actually holds up a wine glass that's filled with red wine. I couldn't resist.
The more the better. It did cost a pretty penny, but all of it's imported from Italy. I wasn't about to be frugal, especially when it comes to anything related to Karen.
Of course not. He wouldn't want it any other way.
No,
are
he
you
wouldn't.
And how are you doing, sweetheart? And tell me the truth and don't just sit there and say I'm fine because we both know you're not.
I'm here. I am doing what I'm good at, which is putting a smile on my face and being a good host.
Of course, you're doing a great job. Kiernan will be proud. And just so you know, if you ever need to step outside for a smoke break, she just gives you a wink.
I appreciate it.
You know where to find me, sweetheart.
I appreciate it. I can't talk for long. Please feel free to go ahead. And she's looking around. Who had the next highest roll, I think?
I believe that was Maeve with an 8, and I actually forgot, Pernilla, my mistake, I didn't see your pop up in the chat there. Prue got a 7, so there's that.
Okay.
So next would be Maeve.
Maki kind of like looks at Sweets and Jimmy and goes, "We're going to be talking to a lot of people, so just somebody snap me alcohol and something to eat while I do this, because I don't think I'm going to have time." I can't hear you, Critter.
Wrong fucking push button. I'm sorry. God damn it. Jimmy, since you just got here, I could take a little break of my own to go stuff my face at the bar there, and I'll bring something back from Maki. Do you want anything?
No. Well, yes. And no. Yes. I'm a little thirsty. And I tried to do the thing with the bag, and the bag didn't work, so yeah.
I'll get you a proper drink and some candy.
Thank you.
To the bar.
Maki makes her way to Maeve with Jimmy and walks up to Maeve and kind of does a very traditional like greeting where it's like kissing on the cheeks. She knows Maeve's more of that world, so she's like, oh yes, do the thing. And I know Maeve, you said you and Danica were like glued to each other.
Glued together.
Yeah.
Maeve has like refused to leave Danica alone since everything went down. She's just like, no, you are my ward now.
So Maki walks up and she goes, "Great to see you. I know you didn't know him, but it's still nice to have you here."
I didn't have to know Kieran. I know you. And we are but reflections of the people that affected us. And changed us and made us.
Yeah. There's no better way to put it. There's food, there's drinks, roses at the end of the night. Make yourself comfortable. She looks over at Danica as she goes, "I will deal with you another time."
And she looks awkward as crap. Like clearly she has been dragged and everything like that. But she goes, "Did you get Sammy's flowers that she sent? I made sure to tell her this was happening."
Yes, I got Sammy's flowers. They are, and she points at like there's probably like a wall of just fucking bouquets of flowers that people have fucking sent, and she's just like, "Yes, I got Sammy's flowers. I already have sent her a message saying thanks. Thank you for letting her know. Tonight is supposed to be about two people I cared about very much. So as long as you're on your best behavior tonight, we will have no issues."
It'll be good. Maeve like takes your hand, takes Maki's hand and like holds it in both of hers, and she's like, "If you need me, I'll just be around the room."
Thank you. I unfortunately will be doing the hostly thing for a minute. Luckily, someone is already procuring me food and drink.
Jimmy is now just slowly staring at Danica, slowly moving forward to Danica, and finally parts his lips and says, "I would like to be able to have a conversation with you later."
How?
And then he slowly pulls himself back next to Maki, very eerily, very cold in his ways.
We will discuss this at a later date. Tonight is not the night for it. We are here to pay our respects to the dead.
Time and place, Jimmy. Time and place.
Next.
Danica, I do hope you enjoy yourself as much as you can, given the circumstances. I appreciate you showing.
I'm genuinely sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And she kind of gives Maeve's hand a squeeze, and then she kind of like gently touches Danica on the side of her arm before she starts to move on to the next person.
Which is Prunella.
Which is Prue. Which I will say, I did write this down. Maki did not invite Prue. Because Maki still has an age-old grudge against Prue. But in this instance, because Prue is here and Maki is in a very host thing, Maki will kind of look around the room for Sweets first and be like, okay, Sweets is at the bar, getting that, looks at Jimmy and goes, hey Jimmy, go mingle for a minute. I've got this one.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I'm not gonna have to pry you away from this one.
That would be an insult to the memory of Kieran and Anna in this night. So, no. There will
Okay.
be no blood spilt tonight. I'm a big girl. I can handle it.
You and I need to have a conversation too. Afterwards.
We will have the conversation, yeah. And she kind of just like pats Jimmy on the shoulder and like moves to make it her way to Prue.
Prue, you're up. You good?
The window starting set.
I'm so sorry. Pulling this serious scene, just casual startup sound. Love it.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. It's been
hard to get this working
I know,
right. 'Cause
I know.
This is supposed to be super serious.
It's okay.
Don't worry.
It's perfect
Don't
timing.
worry about it. You're good. You're
It's
good.
okay. But it was just funny.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paulina. The character bleed was starting to get very bleedy, and I needed that laugh.
Okay.
Also, storyteller, for the sake of brevity, Prue can be, Dorame will be within like earshot distance from Prue.
That's fine. It's already been stated to us that you two came together, so I figured you two were kind of within proximity.
Right, just in case some nonsense went down.
And Mars
is
already
also nearby.
Patches messaged me that Mars would have come with emotional support for Prue as well.
Okay. Maki will make her way to Prue.
And thank you, Quinn, for giving me the perfect setup for where Prue is. So, Prue is at, when you spot her, she is at that back wall of bouquets, like doing her usual I'm on the edge of the crowd thing. She knows she wasn't invited to be here, but she didn't really have a choice with Dorame dragging her here as her +1. But Prue, clearly knowing she wasn't supposed to be here, tried to put in the effort to look nice. So when you spot her, she is not in her usual tunic and combat boots and everything. She's wearing very nice ballet flats, a long lace dress, and her usual scarf has been replaced by a lace shawl and what looks to be a Victorian era mourning veil on her head, and the dress is probably also a Victorian era morning gown. It would be very nice if she wasn't still wearing her leather trench coat wrapped around her like a safety blanket. And she has tried to do her makeup up very nice, but she doesn't know what she's doing. So when you get close, you can see that like the dark red lipstick is like uneven and smudged, and there's that like mascara fallout smudged underneath her eyes, and she's tried to do the 1920s eyebrow thing, but her eyebrows are way too thick, so she just ends up looking perpetually surprised. And she is looking over the wall for an open space where a flower bouquet has not already been shoved.
Sorry, I realized I was still muted. So Maki walks up behind you, and kind of goes,
Finally.
Prue turns around like on a dime, hand goes up like she was reaching for something in her coat, but she like pulls her hand out and has the defensive claw, like you've startled her, and then she sees you and she immediately lowers it and just kind of looks deer in the headlights at you.
Maki's kind of like standing like shoulders back, very like head high, kind of just holding her hands kind of at her chest as she kind of looks you over and goes, Prue? Thank you for coming.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
And she kind of like bites her tongue and she goes, I assume you were someone's +1.
Prue nods and points over to Dora May. I wanted to stay back with our mutual friend at the hospital, but she wouldn't let me.
And Dora May just raises a hand with a smile that says, I see you.
Yeah, and Maki like looks over at you and it's kind of that like that side eye kind of look and goes, well, you're here, and while I could kick you out, because I have every right to, you can stay, be respectful, say your farewells. This is the one night that you get cordiality from me.
Understood.
I will give you one warning. If you do anything disrespectful, it will be more than me just kicking you out.
I would expect nothing less, she says, and she looks over to where she sees Sweets and Jimmy floating somewhere nearby.
I would also recommend you stay away from Sweets, because Sweets will not be as kind as I am being right now. I will allow you to pay your respects, but that is all. After tonight, never set foot in my bar again.
I had to take my daughter to the hospital and couldn't stop laughing. I know what it's like to want to run away from
Whoever's got TikTok going, we can hear it. Try your push to talk.
Again, thank you for the laugh, whoever that was.
And Maki just kind of looks at the flowers around you and goes, there's food, there's drinks. Enjoy yourself while you can. There will be roses at the end of the night to pay respects to the dead.
Prue nods, and she looks between the rose wall and the roses on the coffin and seems to be calculating something, but she doesn't say what.
Maki kind of like is watching you have this like moment of calculation, and she kind of just like narrows her eyes at you, but she just goes, "Just remember what I said." And she turns around and goes, "Enjoy your evening," and walks off to the next person. Who was the next person?
That would be Mars.
She heads over to Mars, has never seen Mars before. And walks up to Mars and goes, "An unfamiliar face, but welcome."
It is a pleasure to be here. I was invited along with others. She kind of gestures over towards Dorme and honestly Prue.
Ah, okay. So you are with our other group mostly then.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to pay your respects. What do I call you?
My name is Marzana Chernov. It is a pleasure to meet you, though I wish it was under better circumstances.
I think everyone wishes it was under better circumstances. And she like puts her hand out and goes, "Maki."
Mars shakes it, and it's a firm shake. A little surprising, given that she is a rather petite woman.
You also notice like Maki's grip is kind of firm, and Maki's, while like taller, is still very thin framed. So you kind of both have like similar surprising handshakes. And she goes, "Well, there's food and drink that are safe for us to divulge in, and there will be roses at the end of the night. Enjoy yourself, and thank you for coming, even though I'm sure you didn't know them."
Thank you for having me, and I am very sorry for your loss.
It is appreciated. And she's gonna make her way to whoever is left.
That would be either... Well, that would be either Danica, but if you're choosing not to talk to Danica right now, your next on the list would be Elizabeth.
All right. So she makes her way to Elizabeth because she already talked to Danica. And she makes her way to Elizabeth and goes, "Elizabeth, it's good to see you."
And it is good to see you. And how are you doing?
"I'm here."
You did a beautiful job.
Thank you. If anything that I am good at, it is I know how to throw a good party. A somber party, but a party.
What is the tradition with the roses? I'm fascinated. At the end of the night.
Yes, so in traditional Italian culture, over in Italy, when we bury our dead, usually it is on top of the coffin, or if you have an open casket on top of the deceased, it is a white rose to out of character, I don't fucking remember exactly what the white rose is significant, but put some sentimental philosophical bullshit here. Because I researched it and I forgot.
It's all good.
So insert that here. But yes, the guests each get a white rose. They are going to put on the table since we are lack of a body. Figured might as well keep some if not all, of the Italian traditions, although most of them would have Catholic boys and bells and lots of religious paraphernalia, and I've never been one for those.
As an ex-Catholic, I agree. So I will let you continue making your polite conversation. But if you need a break after everything, by all means, I'm here if you need.
I appreciate it.
Do you have food? Did someone get you food yet? Or a drink?
Sweets is getting me food and drink right now. I will try to indulge in it when I have a second to breathe.
Good. And Elizabeth will start making her way towards Serafina.
Oh, wait, I have an actual answer for the white rose. Hold on.
Okay, cool.
A white rose on a coffin in an Italian funeral symbolizes purity, peace, and reverence for the deceased.
Sweet.
Speaking of sweets, she appears from the midst of the crowd carrying both a tray of food as well as some drink, having successfully procured.
Maki takes it and looks at sweets and goes,
Eat it, drink it.
I can be polite. I can put on a very good poker face. I really wish people would stop bringing things in that I specifically asked to be kept out.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I know you said play nice and to not put anybody through doors unless it was necessary. But it's fine.
We will manage. I still need to go speak with Serafina, and I think there's a couple others just randomly throughout that I've missed.
Okay, well.
But first, I'm going to indulge, because this is probably the one and only time I'm going to be able to.
Takes cake, shoves in mouth.
Maki
grumbles and starts eating it.
The moment the cake touches your lips, I need you to make me a wits plus awareness roll, please.
Okay.
Jamie gets cake too.
Jimmy got told to go walk away.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where the fuck is Jimmy?
Sweets wanders off to go find Jimmy. I think
So what's
maybe?
awareness?
I don't know.
Yeah, no. That's what, but I.
Jimmy and Lizzie just standing in front of the table with the roses, not saying anything, just looking at how cool it is.
You got a 6? Maki, the moment the cake touches your lips, it's very faint at first. But you can almost hear something like the whisper of a wind or something, and then a moment later it picks up until it's indistinct whispering voices. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but it's just there. Constantly.
Maki's like looking around the room now, like trying to see if she can pinpoint where it's coming from.
You can't.
At this point, she just kind of shakes it off and she goes, I haven't been sleeping well. That's just what this is. It's fine. And she's just going to start indulging in the food, the plate that Sweets got her, and drink, and just kind of like, everything's fine.
As you take a sip of the drink, it becomes a little louder. Almost like a buzzing in your ear.
And now Maki's kind of like looking around and being like, okay, what the fuck is this?
Serafina, has made a hasty exit after having a rather rapid-fire phone call. Looking pretty upset. Or worried, you're not sure which. As the door opens, in walks one Isabella, followed a moment later by somebody it was rumored over the last 3 days was dead. Quilla.
Maki looks at the door, sees Isabella, kind of goes, oh, and then is like about to set her plate down, but then when she sees Quilla, she goes, fuck. And she's like immediately trying to look for sweets.
And we're gonna pause for a moment. We're gonna take a quick break. Get up, stretch, grab a drink, grab a snack, refill. Do what you gotta do. As we slip back into scene, the door opens. Isabella walks in through the door, followed only a few moments later by one Quilla, who everybody was under the impression had died, or may have died, or was reported dead, or something like that. And then a moment later, Ricky, trying desperately actually to keep up with Isabella.
Maki makes a beeline for Isabella and completely ignores Quilla for the moment. And is just going straight to Isabella and just goes, can Maki tell that Isabella has been embraced?
Isabella, that's up to you.
Isabella forgets that now her body no longer breathes automatically. Because it's like all ADHD things, where it's out of sight, out of mind. And when she looks at you, she gives a nervous grin, where you do see her canines are just that little bit sharper.
Maki walks up to you and goes, Isabella. Oh. That's new.
Yeah, I just woke up.
Very new then. And she kind of like reaches over and like pulls you in for a hug. And she goes, thank you for coming. Karen would be really happy to have you here.
She freezes for a few moments, not expecting this, but slowly raises her arms up and gives you a tight hug back and just like, thank you for having me.
Of course. You are always invited.
Prue?
Would me or Dora May notice Isabella walking in the door?
Wits plus awareness. Dora May?
Upon, seeing that purple hair that anybody can recognize from any place.
It's pink.
Not you. She's gonna break the wine glass that's in her hand and bring out her arms of Aramon to wrap around Quilla to hold her in place.
Really quickly, because Maki is by the front door where Quilla is she going to notice this? Because Maki specifically stated no violence tonight.
First, Prue.
Remind me what, it's 6 and above for a success, right?
Correct.
And the zeros on the dice
Are
would
tens.
be 10s?
Yes.
Okay, so I have 4 successes, 2 of which are 10s, and one of those 10s is a hunger dice.
That's a messy critical. Yeah, you notice the moment the door opens. The door opens, you hear the creaking of the hinges, and your eyes just immediately dart towards the door. You see Isabella walk through. You notice the fangs before Maki does. I'm going to ask you a very pointed question, Dorme. Are you sure this is the action you wish to take tonight?
Actually, on second thought, I would, thinking about it further and knowing that she's probably already on thin ice with Maki, she will break the glass and feel like she's about to bring them, but then would just retract as soon as Maki makes eyes with her. Like, please, dear God, don't.
And I can also add to that of Prue sees Isabella walk in, and she was again. I think she had found an open spot in the flower roll, and again she was reaching into her coat to grab something, and then she does that same startle, but for a different reason because she saw Isabella, and she just runs over to Dorme like, May, she's awake, she's here, she's awake.
Calm down a little. It is good news, but let them handle that first.
Maeve, you had your finger up. Nope. Okay.
Okay.
Maki, that buzzing in your ears is getting a little bit louder.
Maki's just kind of like ignoring it at this point, like is trying to just push through it. And she goes back to Isabella and goes, "It is really good to see you. I'm really happy you're here. There's food, there's drink, there is roses at the end of the night. I have to go handle something." And she looks for sweets somewhere in the crowd and is like, tries to catch her eyes.
Sweets?
Do I notice?
It's up to you. It's up to you whether or not you want to notice.
What am I doing?
You were looking for
I believe
Jimmy.
you were hunting for Jimmy.
Yeah, we'll say I found Jimmy. I've given him his drink and his sweets. And I mean, Sweets would actively be looking for disruptances anyway, because that's basically her self-appointed job tonight. She's tonight's bouncer, so I would have.
Jimmy's following her.
Yeah, so Maki kind of makes eye contact with you and goes, like that very pointed, just
yeah.
And Maki just slides past Isabella, goes straight for Quilla, stands stock firm in front of her by the door and goes, "Hi, you weren't invited."
Jimmy's following Sweets.
You know, Sweets goes right up, sidles right on the left side.
Isabella's gonna take Ricky's arm and be like, "Yeah, no, I've seen how this goes," and she's just gonna like bring him over there because it's like, yeah, no, this is a fight I don't want to be in the middle of.
Dorme's gonna just kind of peer over her shoulder where Prue would be and say, I'm going over by our little, you watch them. I don't care what Maki says."
Wait, hold on. You want me to watch her pointing at Quilla or her pointing at Isabella?
I want you to be on Maki's 6 and don't leave until she tells you to move.
If I go anywhere near her, she's going to tell me to move immediately and possibly have Sweets kick me out the door with Quilla.
I will watch.
Thank you, Moms.
What's Elizabeth up to?
Enjoying a cannoli, maybe?
Elizabeth with the tiramisu, just like watching this all go down, just
pulls a bag of popcorn out from out of nowhere.
It is an
Just like,
Italian wake that was about to be
you know what? I learned a long time ago with this coterie. If you don't have the strength powers, you stand against the wall and you let them do their thing.
Just wanted
also, yes, Maeve.
Just wanted to check in.
Does Maeve clock this? Does Maeve clock that, like...
More than likely.
Maki's... Cool. Maeve immediately is like, Danica, we're gonna just she's like, links arm Danica, and she's like, cool. This is our coterie. We gotta go do a thing. Without saying it, it's just like, links arm is like, you don't get a choice in the matter, we're going.
I imagine the being at the bar, her reaching for like a little thing and get pulled away before she actually reaches it.
And hold on, I'm gonna roll something really quick.
She beelines to Maki and immediately stands next to Maki.
You'd have to stand behind because I've got Jimmy and Sweets.
She'd stand behind. Maeve is in like some like boots that give her about like 3 inches in height, and so she's just like looking over Maki's head, staring at this woman, and she's also being very aware of where Prue is.
Prue is keeping her distance, but still watching the situation with Maki and Quilla, because she's not going to get close unless things hit the fan, because she knows that's a bad idea, but she's still watching because that's what Dora May told her to do. And I think she sees Maeve walking over. And Sammy, would any of the purple hair be sticking out of the hood, or would I recognize that hood?
You probably would, yeah. And there would be a little bit hanging out of the bottom, which she has pulled up the hood because she does not want any of this.
Yeah, she sees purple hair there. Wait, purple hair there. Wait, I know that hood. And Prue, like, double takes. And Mars, if you're near Prue, you just hear her go, "There is no way."
This is perhaps the most interesting wake I've ever been to.
And meanwhile, Dora May's just over with Isabella going, "Oh my God, you're up!" And she's just like looking her over, making sure she's okay, doing the worried mom thing.
So, let's go back to Quilla for a moment. Quilla, honey.
Quinn, can you repeat what Maki said? Because there was so much talking afterwards.
No, it was so much. Let's just start from the beginning. Maki walks over, she has all these people come up behind her. She looks at you dead and square in the eyes and just goes, "You weren't invited."
I know I wasn't invited, but I had to come.
Oh, had to? Oh, that's funny. That's real rich. This is my bar now. And you caused more problems than you are worth to me. I say who gets to come to this wake. You are not welcome here. Turn around. Find somewhere else to be a bitch and lurk.
Fairly well then.
Jimmy would step up and kind of talk to Maki. I said, "I don't think that her boss is alive anymore."
Why is that my problem?
Because the boss was the one that sicked her on you in the first place.
Yeah, and she stepped
Well,
over the line.
Kieran.
Yeah, and this one stepped over the line more times than I can count, to the point where her boss, and she's looking at Quilla again, told you to step the fuck down because you kept pushing. Give me one good reason that you should be allowed to even pay your respects.
If you think it was my boss chiding me for stepping over the line, you don't quite have a grasp of politics. You might want to get some more information on that.
I have a very good grasp on politics. And I was there when she told you to drop it.
Jimmy steps up a little bit. Quilla, why are you here?
I made some drinks that reminded me of Karen and Anna, and I wanted to give Maki the recipes.
Sorry, give Maki the what? I didn't hear that.
Recipes.
What fucking recipes would you have? You didn't know them. Honestly, I should rip your tongue out for even saying their names. But we're at a wake.
That buzzing gets real fucking loud.
And Maki's like thinking and is trying to like pinpoint the fucking source again but right now she's just like lasered in on Quilla. We are at a wake. There will be no violence at the wake. I will not spill blood as much as I would love to watch your head roll. Unless you can give me one damn good reason that you should be here. And I mean a good fucking reason, not some bullshit that you've pulled out of your fucking stick in your ass. If not, bye.
Quilla's going to reach in her pocket, pull out 2 folded up sheets of paper, and offer them out to Maki.
Maki snatches it. She's not being nice. Maki snatches that shit, opens it up, and looks at the papers.
They are fully fleshed out recipes for drinks. Quilla, would you like to describe?
Yeah, pulling them up. There's one that's entitled Karen. It's got 2 recipes on it. One of them is called the Obsidian Veil. The profile is listed as dark, rich, slightly fiery, visually tender-like, elegant, and enigmatic. The taste is listed as immediately rich and dark with layers of coffee, smoke, and subtle fire. The tendrils of syrup give intermittent bursts of sweetness, creating a drink that is never fully uniform, mysterious, and alive on the palate. Then there's one that's listed as a mocktail. It's dark, visually hypnotic, rich, smoky with a hint of fire. The taste is deep and brooding at first, with an undercurrent of warmth and spice. The dark syrup gives intermittent sweetness, while the ginger and sparkle add fleeting brightness, a drink that lingers in complexity. Then the other is entitled Anna. Anna, the profile is listed as picture perfect, soft and beautiful with a smoky, striking first sip. Taste is first sip surprises with a smoky, almost gunpowder-like zing. Afterwards, it softens into floral sweetness, a bright citrus, a contrast between appearance and flavor that leaves an impression. The mocktail is called the powdered petal. The cocktail was called the ashen blossom. The powdered petal is listed as stunning to look at, soft and delicate with a subtle, smoky punch. Taste is listed as visual, soft, and perfect, floral and light, but the initial sip gives a brief, smoky kick, like a hidden edge beneath gentle beauty.
Maki reads over, totally out of character. That's so fucking cool. It's so fucking sweet. But in character, Maki reads it and goes, "Is this supposed to be a peace offering? Am I to assume that you came up with these recipes?"
I did.
You know, I really hate how fucking wishy-washy you are. Absolutely. Go put a rose on the fucking table and get the fuck out.
Thank you.
If I ever see your face again, I will not hesitate.
Two things. The first, Maki, when you turn around, that buzzing that was in your ear turns more into an almost loud screeching for a split second. One sec.
Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you. Turns into a bit of a loud screeching for just a second, and as you turn around, at first you hear a voice. Huh. Those are interesting. And then by the table, you see a rather familiar figure step out of almost nothing. Is this what my wig's like? As he just kind of rests an elbow on the table. Looks around. Second, Isabella. There's a gnawing ache forming in the pit of your stomach. Not something you've ever felt before. Not quite the same as a stomach ache, and your throat is starting to feel real dry.
Dorme will lean in. Honey, Bella, are you okay?
Isabella was kind of focusing on the feeling for a moment, trying to figure out what the fuck that feeling is before she goes,
Where'd you go there, sweetheart?
I didn't go anywhere. I'm standing right here.
Yes, physically, but mentally, you were somewhere else. What's going on?
I'm gonna need you to make a composure and resolve roll, please.
Lizzie is joining in this.
Hey, Blaze, am I still doing the thing we talked about?
Yes.
Okay,
While
cool.
we're
Just so you know,
Go ahead.
I lost the mask, but I have this instead.
That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna jump to that for a sec, and then we're gonna come back and deal with Isabella because I want to get this out of the way first.
So, Maki, looks at everyone else, looks back, and is like, okay, how much have I had to drink? anyone
Are you
around
physically
her.
asking? Yeah,
No, everyone around her is like can hear her say this.
For the reference, just for reference, none of you can actually see this.
I figured we could.
It's only Maki.
Feeling.
And Sweets will turn to Maki. I've only given you one drink, and you've barely finished it because you've been so busy.
Oh, great! I'm hallucinating. Okay. And she just kind of walks past you all and starts heading towards the table and is walking up to Kieran and is like, "You motherfucker! If you are a figment of my goddamn imagination, I swear to God, I am going to bring you back to life and kill you again."
I didn't do it with Sweets. I didn't. I promise.
And
I was gonna say, Sweets is giving Jimmy a look like it's just your fault.
And this is the conversation that is ensuing. This is Kieran. This is Maki.
What the fuck's going on?
Color, can I go ahead and hit?
Jimmy?
Can I go ahead and activate Sense the Unseen so Dorme can witness this in canon?
Who here has sensed the unseen? 1, 2.
Hold on.
Dorme, Jimmy.
Maeve is double
Marzana,
checking.
Quilla.
No.
Is that it? Just the 4 of you? Okay. The 4 of you turn to the table where Maki is like standing. Or sorry, where Maki's standing. You see Kieran standing on the table, just kind of resting haphazardly. This is since the unseen is like passive, so you don't have to activate anything for it. But you see Maki standing at the table, talking to Kieran.
Well, butter my ass and call me a biscuit.
Jimmy, what the fuck's going on?
There's a person over there.
And before we get into scene, Mars, yes?
We can't hear you.
So Mars is gonna make a lot of assumptions, and that this is the dude whose wake it is because she heard him.
You can also see the photo on the table. They the images match.
Hold on, I have a picture of him. Hold on, it's coming.
Oh yeah, for those some of you have not seen who these people are. Let's do that.
She will.
I think that
Mars.
She very softly goes, "It is not often the dead show up to their own wakes."
Prue kind of shaken from staring at a friend in a hood that she recognizes, turns to Mars. What?
We're gonna cut back to Maki.
So Maki's like staring at fucking Kieran, and Kieran just goes, "Hey, did you miss me?" Okay, I am not hallucinating. Am I hallucinating? I would fucking hope you're not hallucinating. Are you taking drugs? Also, nice digs. Is this my wake? Yes, it's your fucking wake. What? Okay, hold on. Is it just you, or am I also gonna get a visit from Anna? As far as I know, it's just me. Although Anna's back here somewhere screaming. She definitely thinks you should rip off that bitch's head. I tend to agree. But, you know, I hate her. And Maki's just like, okay, I didn't have a lot to drink. I'm not on drugs. This is actually happening. I look like a crazy person because I'm talking to a fucking table. Yeah, you do look kind of crazy right now. Like, literally everyone is just. I don't think anyone's staring, but like, could you be a bit more subtle? How the fuck am I supposed to be more subtle right now? You're dead, and you're talking to me at your fucking wake. Yeah, but I mean, I'll be here after the wake. What the fuck do you mean you'll be here after the wake? Well, I was a thorn in your side before, and I'm gonna be so in death. Oh my god. Okay. And she now looks around the room to see how many people are watching this go down.
Everyone.
And it's
with the
and
exception
it's
of Isabella and Dorame.
And it's just like, and she just kind of like looks around and she goes, how many people can see this right now? And she's asking the fucking group.
Dorame will look over and go,
Prue kind of peeks out from behind Mars. I can't see him, but I would trust that he is there. He kind of talked to me and Dora May at the church.
Isabella, what did you roll?
I had to roll blood die for the very, very first time.
Yep.
I rolled a 4 with 2 10s, and one of the 10s is a blood die.
So that's a messy
So
critical.
I think that's a messy critical.
So if that's the case, hold on a second. Isabella. My dear. From the back of your head comes a crisp, cold voice tinged with just a slight bit of anger to it. Are you gonna eat, or are you just gonna stand around like a fucking idiot all night?
Isabella, who has called herself so much fucking worse, ignores the voice, but looks at Dorame and says, I think I'm hungry.
If you don't eat, I'm going to take the choice out of your hands for you.
can Dorame tell that Isabella is hearing the beast for the first time?
No, but you would be able to hear Isabella as she speaks.
Yeah, Isabella just says, I think I'm hungry.
Okay. Are you maybe hearing something that's not there? They're a little pissy.
What's with the 20 questions? I don't want
I think so.
to answer
and
questions.
It's kind of a bitch.
I just want to eat.
Okay. Shit. And Dorame just starts looking around to see if there's anything that could be a blood thing that Isabella could eat.
You don't see much, Dorame, but you do happen to see Ricky. Sorry, you do happen to see Ricky off chatting to somebody.
Dorme's gonna just be like, Ricky, come here.
He looks over at you.
and she's going to signal. I think somebody needs to hit the drive-through, as she points to Isabella.
Yes. He excuses himself from the person he's talking to. He walks over. And come on, let's get you a bite to eat, shall we? Avoid any unnecessary bloodshed tonight. I don't think Maki would like it very much.
Lizzie is
Pretty
gonna
sure
go
she'd
with
tear
them.
my head off.
Figured that wouldn't be long. And we're gonna cut back to Maki.
Oh shit, is Mom here? Fuck yeah. I should go talk to her. I don't think you can talk to her. Why the fuck not? I bet you 100% she could hear me. Why now? Why now? I have so much other shit to deal with. The last thing I need is your Force ghost ass just appearing. But you love me. And I'm adorable. Also, is Isabella a fucking vampire now? There is too many things that have happened since you have been dead that I cannot catch up. You all on all of it. We're cool. I have time. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go back to pretending you're not here. That's fucking rude. You're in my fucking way. Bitch. Ass.
As the conversation goes on, and Maki just devolves into calling Kieran names. For some of you, you can see this. For the rest of you, it looks like she's calling the table names, just back and forth, and having a full-on argument with the table or whatever. The night does eventually wrap up with each of you placing your white rose on the table. Yes, Prue.
I'll let you finish your sentence before I say my thing.
With each of you placing a white rose on the table. Go ahead.
So Prue, at some point during the night, went back to the wall of flowers. That calculating that Maki saw earlier was her trying to figure out the most respectful place to put what she brought, and she decided, you know what, the coffin is for the white roses. I'm not going to put my thing there. There's a wall of other flowers other people have sent. This is the right place. And so she, at some point, maybe while Maki is distracted arguing with Kieran, goes back there, reaches into her coat, and pulls out 2 roses, but they are odd looking. They're a mixture of black and white and red, and if you look really closely, you'll see they're made out of poker cards. And there's 2 of them with a note with a little fabric baggie attached as well onto each rose. And she just finds a small open place and slips both roses into the wall.
This is roughly where we are going to conclude this evening. I know it was a little chaotic. I know it was short screen time for a lot of you. The point here was to get through the wake and have a Maki-centric episode for the night. So thank you very much for your patience. Give me 1 second while we wrap up.